everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to tune into the very heartbeat of Jamaica. We are diving deep into a sound that sparked a global movement and the incredible month-long celebration that honors it, Reggae Month. And you know, this quote from Jamaica's Minister of Culture, Olivia Grange, it just hits the nail on the head. Reggae isn't just a genre of music, it's a cultural force, it's a social story, and it's this vital piece of Jamaica's identity that has echoed all across the globe. And believe me, this is no small affair. Just to give you an idea of how big this celebration is, this year, for the 17th anniversary, there are over 60 registered events. We're talking concerts, workshops, film festivals. The whole month is absolutely packed, which just goes to show you how central this music is to the entire nation. All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. We're gonna kick things off with the why behind Reggae Month itself. Then we'll dig into the roots of that rhythm, break down its unique sound, follow its journey to worldwide fame, and finally, look at how the beat carries on today. Okay, first up, Jamaica's heartbeat. Let's get right into what Reggae Month is all about and how this whole thing even started. So let's rewind to 2008. This is when the Jamaican government made it official and declared February as Reggae Month. The whole idea was to formally recognize the massive impact this music has had on the country. And why February? Well, that's no accident. It's a beautiful tribute to two of the genre's absolute giants, Dennis Brown, the crown prince of reggae, born February 1st, and of course, the one and only Bob Marley, the king of reggae, born February 6th. Okay, now we're gonna rewind the tape a bit further to really uncover the roots of this revolutionary sound. Because, see, to truly get reggae, you have to understand the whole musical journey in Jamaica that came before it. And this evolution is just fascinating. It all kicks off in the 50s with mento, which is Jamaica's traditional folk music. Then, in the early 60s, boom, you get the explosion of ska, this fast, upbeat, super danceable sound that mixed local rhythms with American R&B. But by the middle of the decade, the whole vibe started to change. The beat slowed way down and to rock steady, with a much heavier, groovier bass line. And it was right out of that slower foundation that reggae was born in the late 1960s, slowing the tempo down even more and creating space for a really powerful message to come through. So where was all this new music being heard? The sound system. And this part is absolutely critical to the story. In so many neighborhoods in Kingston, these huge, custom-built mobile DJ trucks weren't just for throwing parties. They were the main way people heard new music and got news. This whole culture of competition between the different sound systems is what really drove innovation, making them the literal birthplace for ska, rocksteady, and eventually reggae. You know, you simply cannot talk about reggae without talking about Rastafari. It's impossible. This spiritual movement, which started back in the 1930s, basically gave reggae its soul, its conscience. It infused the music with these deep themes of social justice, black pride, resistance against Babylon, or, oppressive systems, and this profound spirituality. That's what turned it from just entertainment into this powerful voice for social change. So, we've seen where reggae came from. Now let's get into the word, sound, and power. We're gonna break down what makes it so instantly recognizable and explore what really gives reggae its signature feel. It is all about that rhythm. First off, the tempo is slow, it's steady. Then you have that iconic guitar skank on the offbeat, that classic chicka chicka sound we all know. And the bass line? It's not just sitting in the background. No way. It is thick, it's heavy, and a lot of times it's actually carrying the main melody. A lot of the drum patterns were heavily influenced by the ritual drumming of Rastafarian Nabi and G ceremonies. And of course, the vocals, so often delivered in Jamaican patois, give the music its authentic, unmistakable voice. Now, this is something a lot of people get mixed up, so let's clear it up. The difference between reggae and dancehall. Think of it like this. Reggae is the soulful older sibling, born in the late 60s, all about live bands and deep spiritual themes. Dancehall is its rebellious, high-energy younger sibling from the late 70s, built on digital rhythms, super fast tempos, and lyrics focused more on street stories and party anthems. Both are pure Jamaica, but they come from totally different eras and bring different energies. And that's the thing, right? The lyrics in reggae carried so much weight. This wasn't just music to dance to, it was a vehicle for incredibly powerful messages. It talked about the real struggles of everyday life. It called out injustice, and it spread these messages of Rastafarian faith, African pride, and a universal call for peace, love, and unity. This is what transformed it into a truly global movement. And all of that power? Well, that's what brings us to our next chapter. How this incredible sound, born in the streets of Kingston, became a voice that was heard and loved all over the world. I mean, you just can't tell this story without talking about the man himself, Bob Marley. He was so much more than a musician. He was a global ambassador. He took the rhythms from his home, the messages from his faith, and delivered them to a worldwide audience, becoming this international symbol of peace, resistance, and the undeniable power of music. But what's amazing is, Marley himself would point you to another legend, Dennis Brown. People called him the Crown Prince of Reggae, and for good reason. He was known for his incredibly soulful voice and a massive catalog of hits. I mean, Bob Marley called Dennis Brown his favorite singer. That tells you everything you need to know about his influence. And we have to give respect to the architects, the pioneers. Before Marley, before Brown, you had musicians like Ernest Ranglin. This guy was a master guitarist, a key architect of the entire sound. His work in the studio helped create ska, and his innovative style laid the very foundation that rocksteady and reggae were built on. A true living legend. So, what was the ripple effect of all their work? Well, it was massive. Reggae's influence didn't just stop at its own borders. Its DNA, the heavy bass lines, the offbeat rhythms, that whole spirit of social commentary, it was absorbed by so many other genres. From British punk bands like The Clash to the very foundations of hip-hop and even modern Afrobeats, you can hear the echo of Jamaica's rhythm. And then, in 2018, came the ultimate seal of approval. UNESCO officially added the reggae music of Jamaica to its list of intangible cultural heritages of humanity. This wasn't just some award, it was the world officially acknowledging reggae's contribution to, and I'm quoting here, the international discourse on issues of injustice, resistance, love, and humanity. Just incredible. So, let's bring it all back to today. With a history that rich and that much global recognition, how is the legacy of reggae being protected and passed on to the future? Well, Reggae Month itself plays a huge part in that. It's a massive driver for tourism, bringing fans from every corner of the planet. And that influx of people, it supports local businesses. We're talking everything from hotels and restaurants to local artists and tour guides. It's a whole ecosystem where celebrating the culture directly fuels the local economy and helps preserve it. And this is what's so important. The focus is on the future. Reggae Month isn't just about looking backward. You have these amazing initiatives like the Young Reggae Ambassadors Program and the Children of the Icon series, which are all designed to promote and showcase the next generation of artists. It's all about making sure, as Minister Grange put it, that the music is left in good hands. So when you step back and look at the whole story, it's just, what an incredible journey. From a protest sound that came up from the streets and sound systems of Kingston, it became the spiritual voice for an entire movement. Through these legendary ambassadors, it reached every corner of the globe, and today it's officially celebrated as a cultural treasure for all of humanity. And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? In our world today, which is still so full of the injustice and division that reggae first rose up to fight against, what does its message really mean now? That message of resistance, of love, and of unity. The beat, it seems, is more relevant than ever. Thanks for joining us.